When Tyson USA ruled the ring, the world of boxing witnessed not just the rise of a champion but the eruption of a phenomenon that redefined fear, power, speed, and dominance inside the squared circle. Because Mike Tyson was never just a boxer, he was a force of nature forged in chaos, sharpened by discipline, and unleashed with a fury that made grown men tremble before the opening bell even rang. As from the streets of Brooklyn to the bright lights of Las Vegas, Tyson's journey became the ultimate American boxing saga where raw aggression met masterful technique. Trained under the legendary C.U.'s D'Amato, who transformed a troubled youth into the youngest heavyweight champion in history, teaching him the peekaboo style that allowed Tyson to slip punches with lightning head movement and explode forward with devastating hooks and uppercuts that ended fights in seconds, turning arenas silent except for the roar of shock, as opponents collapsed like fallen statues. And during his reign in the late 1980s, Tyson unified the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles with terrifying ease, bulldozing champions such as Trevor Berbick, James Smith, Tony Tucker, Michael Spinks, and many others, making it clear that this was not a competitive era but an era of survival where challengers entered the ring knowing their fate might be sealed before the first round ended. And what made Tyson's dominance legendary was not just his knockout power but the psychological warfare he mastered, his cold stare, his minimal movement, his silence, his walk to the ring with no robe, no smile, and pure menace, embodying the fear that boxing fans had not seen since the days of Sonny Liston. While television ratings soared, pay-per-view numbers exploded, and Tyson became a global icon representing American boxing supremacy, a symbol of untamed strength that crossed sports boundaries into pop culture, music, movies, and mainstream fame. Yet behind the knockouts and belts lay a deeper story of discipline versus destruction, as the loss of C.U.'s D'Amato marked a turning point where fame, money, and chaos slowly eroded the structure that once kept Tyson focused, leading to shocking defeats, controversies, and personal struggles that turned his career into a dramatic rise and fall narrative unlike anything boxing had ever seen. But even in defeat, Tyson's aura never disappeared, because his prime was so explosive, so unforgettable, that decades later fans still debate whether any heavyweight could withstand peak Tyson's speed, power, and ferocity. And when history looks back at the era when Tyson USA ruled the ring, it is remembered not merely as a championship reign but as a cultural earthquake that shook boxing to its core, reminding the world that dominance is not measured only by titles but by the fear you instill, the legends you create, and the everlasting imprint you leave on the sport, making Mike Tyson not just a former champion, but an eternal boxing phenomenon whose shadow still looms over every heavyweight who dares to dream of ruling the ring.